We have some absolutely bonkers author drama. It's like if you took a checklist and went down the list of like bad things that you shouldn't be doing. This author kind of checked every single one, allegedly, ranging from things of like making fake accounts to send fake hate messages to themselves, scamming people with giveaways, scamming people with art. Just strap in, guys, because this one is wild. So starting us off, we have this post by Bryn Renee Books, writing author Myra Bloom. And by the way, don't send hate to anybody, posted around 10 a.m. on April 30th claiming she'd be sent a nasty fatphobic DM. It wasn't until hours later that she was called out for potentially faking the DM for sympathy sales of her book. The icon of her book cover designer, Black Rose, was proven to be a match for the icon of the person that sent her the alleged fatphobic DM. So this is a lot. Let's break this down, okay? This was the post that Myra Bloom made at around 10 a.m. And Myra writes, "Stop it, please stop it." And they write, "I didn't realize that I was opening myself up to so much scrutiny by writing a plus-size curvy character in my book. I shouldn't be told what I can and cannot write." And they add, "One more message and I'll lose it." And they show a screenshot of a hate message they received. And her book is titled Crossover, one of her books. So it says, "Hi. So I stopped reading Crossover because I couldn't stand it anymore. You didn't have to unnecessarily put a plus-size female main character, which is abbreviated as FMC, in the book. It doesn't add much. It only spoils the fun of the book. Anyway, I'm not going to finish it because I can't read a plus-size heroine, and I'm just here to advise you to not use a fat woman in your next book. More people might read it that way." So again, this is what the hater said, right? And she posted a screenshot and she censored out the profile photo. But if you do the comparison, the Black Rose account, yeah, that's the same profile photo. There is a whole investigation as to why this Black Rose account is allegedly the author Myra Bloom. And we'll actually delve into that a little bit because it touches on some things that we're going to talk about down the road in this video. But Bryn continues, she was then asked to provide an uncensored screenshot of the DM. And she posted a screenshot of an account messaging her with the same icon as her cover designer. When lined up with the previous censored DM, the new icon was cropped differently and didn't match. This Ahana account then began recropping the image where multiple people could see it. So this is where Myra Bloom said, "To protect myself and my cover artist," which again, she talks as if the cover artist is a separate person, which we'll again look into in the future as to why maybe it might not be. But she shows the full screenshot where you can see that that profile belongs to an Ahana account. So here's the overlap of the profile photos between the profile photo that sent that first hate DM, remember that screenshot that you first saw, and then they lined it up with the Ahana account. And then they looked at it and they were like, you can see here, the Ahana account, the cropping of the profile photo is different. Look at the notebook here. The notebook is actually shifted up and to the left a little bit. So it doesn't actually line up one-to-one. However, again, like we saw with the first screenshot, the first GIF, the Black Roses account's profile photo lined up exactly to the cropping of the profile photo of this text message, the hate message, right? And then here you can see, look at the receipts with the timestamps. Look at the change in the cropping. Bryn adds, Myra was then asked to show a screen recording of her logged into her author account, going into her DMs to view the profile of the Ahana account. This is again to prove the screenshot is not fabricated. When she did, the DM showed it was sent 5 hours ago, the same time she posted the alleged uncensored DM. If it was the same DM she made in her initial sympathy marketing post, it would have needed to be sent over 17 hours ago, not 5. So here you can see, the messages, then they open it. This is alleged because the time zones are all over the place. Allegedly, the author is based in India. So we are going to have a bunch of differences in the time zones, etc. But what is being alleged here is that the timestamp of the DM shown in the recording does not allegedly match this timestamp, because this would have been posted 17 hours ago, right? So what did Myra have to say about the timestamps not matching? Myra writes, "Where I am right now, it's 9:13 a.m. I really don't have a clue about that. Maybe it's an Instagram glitch? Like, you didn't see me post when I in fact did. Now I don't have it in me to prove anymore or to listen to anyone. I can't make you believe me." And somebody says, "It's a timestamp. There's no glitch. Please quit lying." And Myra says, "I'm not. Please, just please." So Bryn adds, "It's in my opinion that her cover designer, which I believe is also her, sent the initial fatphobic DM early morning, April 30th. She raked in all the attention she could until another user, Wine Cellar Library, pointed out that the book cover designer's profile photo matched the DM she got. She realized she was caught, used the same image, incorrectly cropped on a burner account, DM'd the same hate message, and posted it without scribbling out the name." And this was the original whistleblower account, Wine Cellar Library, who posted about this writing. Does no one else realize this is a PR stunt? The account she's claiming sent this message literally wrote a 5-star review, is an author herself, and reposted this post. Because yes, it gets even worse, right? This account again, this Black Rose account that is supposed to be the hater reposting a bunch of posts. Also, the Black Rose account literally did a collaborative post with Myra reviewing her book Crossover, and she gave it 5 stars on her public Instagram page. Like, you wouldn't do that if you really hated the book that much, right? If you were so upset about the body size of the main character, you wouldn't give it a 5-star review. And by the way, like, dogging on books just because you don't like the body size of the main character is stupid. But you know what I mean? Like, if you're not following this alleged narrative you're trying to paint here. And Wine Cellar Library adds, I just dug deeper. Go check out the bullies reposts. 99% of them are reposting this author's threads months back. She's bullying herself because, yep, when you dig into it, that Black Rose's threads account, look, all they do is freaking repost Myra Bloom's posts. This is already very interesting of a tactic because essentially it's like she made a bunch of alt accounts to repost and engage with her account to try to get it more traction, more reposts. Also, Wine Cellar Library adds, here's what led me to digging deeper into the fat phobia bullying claims. I've been in the book world since 2011. I've been blogging and reviewing since 2018. I started a Bookstagram in 2019. I've seen stuff. In more recent years, plus-size main characters in romance have become increasingly more common, and the reception is overwhelmingly positive. The only time there's constructive feedback is when an author bullies their own plus-size character. They tear themselves down and never gain confidence, or they're bullied relentlessly with no redemption. It's valid to write characters who have body dysmorphia or are experiencing bullying, but readers want to see more confident plus-size characters in romance. Again, constructive feedback, not negative and definitely not bullying. I have attached all the reviews for Crossover mentioning this. Not only has Myra bullied her own female main character, but she made an alt account and bullied herself about it. But yeah, there were a lot of reviews about this book, and I have not read this book, right? So I can't throw in my 2 cents here, but people were basically saying that, yes, I also exist in the same body that is being described for the female main character, and the descriptions of fat phobia the female main character is experiencing seems very exaggerated compared to my personal lived experience. Allegedly, people were saying that the main female character, when she's interacting with people that aren't in her close circle or friends, they're just all dogging on her for being fat. And people were basically in the reviews writing that that's not really how it goes, and that it kind of broke their immersion because it felt so over the top that it pulled me out of the story. Like, the immersion break about that was actually something that a lot of the reviews had mentioned. You know, more example. And Wine Cellar Library continues, this is extremely damaging. I haven't read the book, but 7 separate ARC reviewers commented on her over the top fat phobia and Crossover, which was further evidence to me that what she posted was fabricated. The book community collectively rose up to support her when she made the bullying post. Not a single comment was negative. So I put on my detective hat and got to work. And please don't review bomb her, I don't condone that whatsoever, but it's important she takes accountability for her relentless negative representation of plus-size characters in books and manufacturing fatphobic rhetoric for pity sales. And another person writes, the thing about fatphobia is that it's usually not direct, even if it's loud. In the bookish space is books with fat characters being passed over, held to higher standards, criticized more, etc. Now, beyond that additional context, which is what led to the person making this post to go dig a little bit deeper into the whole situation, people started commenting about their other experience with this author Myra Bloom. And the pinned comment from a user named Tamara Renee Books reads, I did a giveaway with her for her first book, and the winner was the Black Rose account. ... Somebody asked for additional context. Was she the one who chose the winner? And Tamara writes, yup, it was her giveaway for her release. Another author, Loria Matthews, writes, not to be messy, but I connected these dots like 10 minutes ago. I think we were in the same group giveaway and have sat here stunned. Another person, Dana Russo, author, writes, same here. I did find it odd at the time that the Black Rose account had the @ of her cover designer in their bio, and the whole theme seemed weird. And another user, Megan Reads Books, writes, hey guys, as many of you have seen, we all got scammed and lied to by an author. Many authors participated in giveaways with her, and the winner of the giveaway ended up being her on various alt accounts. Here is an example of a giveaway that she has done on her account. I don't know if this giveaway was the scam one where, you know, her alt account allegedly won. But the way it worked was, it's listed, note the international giveaway. One winner would win 2 books, and the rules is that you would have to enter by following both Myra and the other author. In this case, it was Stephanie Alves. Like and save the post, repost it, and comment. and then there's some bonus entries, and that the winner would be DMs. This is another giveaway. Again, this may or may not be one of the scam ones, right? But it's, again, you can win her book and a book. This time it's Convincing the Catcher from author Hannah Gray, where, again, you have to follow Myra and, in this case, Hannah. Like, and save this post, repost it, comment if you. I think it's interesting that it says comment if you ordered crossover yet, not comment if you ordered crossover and or Convincing the Catcher, you know, the other book in the giveaway. Again, it says the giveaway is closed and it will be announced the next day, and it would be DM'd. There is no post about who won the giveaway, so again, I don't know, but Megan continues, these authors spent tons of money to ship these books to India, where the winner was located. And I'd love to support these authors that joined a giveaway only to be scammed and lied to by somebody they thought we were helping. And so apparently here are some of the authors and their books that were part of the unfortunate scheme that was cooked up by Myra. And here are some people in the comments talking about their experience. Loria Matthews writes, as an author who was duped and paid $30+ to send the copy, thank you for trying to bring a positive spin to this disheartening situation. Wine Cellar Library writes, thank you for compiling this. I was planning to, but have been so tied up in all the layers of this grift. One author told me it cost $80 Canadian to ship the giveaway book to Myra in India. Another person, author Kristen Lucero writes, I just pieced together that I was also one of these authors that got swindled by this scam. That actually sucks. These books all sound really interesting, so if you want to go check them out, here are a whole bunch of them right here. Right on Ice sounds really interesting. That's the one I'm kind of like. And there's another level to this, because now we get into the art section of it, okay? We have this post written by Kennedy Bryant's author writing, you mean to tell me that an author I've spoken to, been asked to do giveaways with, in a group chat with, fake bullied herself because her female main character is fat just for PR? You're kidding me? And now she doubled down on it? Girl, come on. And to make matters worse, she recommended an artist for character art. So I was nice, wanting to help a small artist, and got some work done. No words can just say how bad it is. Only for it to actually be her, and then to have the balls to message me continuously to post it so my followers and other authors would become clients. Yeah, no thank you. We're gonna look at some of the art. And okay, I want to add a little bit of disclaimer before we delve into this, a little bit of nuance, right? Because like, I don't want this to be something that discourages new artists, intermediate artists, people from trying to open up commissions or post about their art, etc. Because we've all been there, you know? We've all been there with the chopped anatomy. It's all a learning experience at the end of the day in terms of your art growth. So I don't want this to be a case of kind of like bullying people for their art, etc. There's just nuance here, because this is a situation where she's like allegedly, right, recommending this artist to other people, you know, to try to like basically coerce client work out of people. And the person is allegedly her. It's just deceptive. Like, why don't you disclose that, you know? Like, to not disclose that and then to try to get people to commission you for art that's you on an alt account, but you're pretending not to be you. And then your art is of a quality that you can look at it for yourself, but might need a little bit more work before you open up commissions. So Kennedy Bryant writes, does anybody want to see the horrendous artwork I got scammed of from said author going viral now for bullying herself? Because if so, you aren't ready, ... And in case it's easier to see, here's the artwork. And this is the artwork they received. Oh my. Which also, for additional context, Kennedy writes, for reference, this was what was advertised as her character art. That's why I got it done. And this is the advertisement where you can see there's still that like choppy line work, but the composition, etc. of the characters looks a lot better. This looks like a really cute composition of characters. I like the expressive poses, etc. So it kind of makes sense. If you look at it, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, like this is like decent, right? So I'm down. But then somebody adds, and if you reverse image search, there's actually an art piece of these two characters that they traced. And another person said, I reverse Google image this because I had suspicions and it's completely traced. So somebody says, I didn't think it could be worse than this, but it really is. Yikes on bikes. And these are some portraits of the characters. Another person says, I don't typically like to make fun of artists on their journey, and I completely agree, right? And I'm behind on what the story is here, but why did she draw Timu Hemsworth? Is he a central figure in the work? And then here's a more full version of the art piece, more close-ups. Here's another person writing, her covers are ... rough. Again, these two characters, two more characters. And that person writes, I feel really bad, but I don't think if the artist is a different person than the author, that they should be selling their artwork to use on book covers or for promo material. And if the artist is the same person as the author, what the F is she doing? Why is she pretending to be different people? And like, again, I just want to say, like, I completely respect the hustle of, you know, trying to learn a craft to fully embody it, like as an author, to instead of resorting to AI, you just hand draw everything yourself. I completely respect that. I'm not dogging on that here. It's just because she's trying to push this client work onto other people. And it's not necessarily deceptive if people see the example of what your work looks like. You're not deceiving people because that is actually what you're delivering, but you are deceiving people in the fact that this is you. Pretending to be an artist on this other account when it's just you. Like, why do you not disclose the fact that it's you? I'm just curious about that. But the other point that I'm just trying to say is that in terms of quality, it's missing the mark because we just have errors here. Like in this woman where she has, a hand in her pocket and she's, wearing a pantsuit. There's just like this giant black sliver here as if they just drew the character on a black background and just did not remove the black in this section of the arm here. And same thing for this character's hand. Like, it's not the part of the art style. And then again, we see it in the armpit. There's again black that was not removed in the background. I would just say like that's just a quality thing in terms of like producing a cover that, you would clean up the background PNG elements off your characters before uploading it. And by the way, about the doubts as to whether the Black Rose account and this account, Blue Sapphire Web Design, who's credited as the artist, who is the Black Rose account, right? Because the Black Rose in their bio, it says their business account is Blue Sapphire Web Design, which is this account that does the art, right? That you can see there's artwork here that they've done. That is the artist. I'm sorry, it's so confusing. For author Myra Bloom, as you can see, this is literally the cover that was made. And they are tagged, right? Where she says, thanks to Rose from Blue Sapphire Web Design for being there to handle my social media posts, LOL, heart. Literally tagged as being involved in this. Somebody writes, not to add fuel to the fire. Absolutely. I beta read for a certain con artist writer for one book and had concerns about the writing. Also, please look at the cover art and the hands. And somebody says, if you're referring to the same person from earlier, apparently they are also the designer as well and running various accounts as different people, one being the cover designer's account. As a creative, it's annoying having these grifters take over the server space as well. And OP says, yeah, that's what I want people to be aware. I genuinely don't comment on art except in a positive manner, but this isn't good. Then Myra pops in and says, if you had concerns, then you should have told me. You never did. And now after months, you're saying this. And what on earth is wrong with the hands on either covers? I can't see it. And OP says, I did have concerns. I brought them to you. I asked if your book was edited. The language was strange and the verbiage was off. And sorry, one is the art print. These are the hands. Hands are hard. I'm not gonna dog on that, okay? Hands are so notoriously difficult to draw, but I'm trying to pick my words carefully because again, I don't want people to take what I say and interpret it as, if you're a new artist, you should never do commission data. That's not what I mean. Hey, feel free to open up commissions whenever you want. Put prices, People see your work. If they want to buy it, they'll buy it. If they don't want to, they don't want to. They're fully informed. This again is a separate case where they're posing as a different person and then trying to like push their art services onto other people. That then I would say is deceptive because, now we have situations like this. But the fingers, bro, I'm just genuinely curious what reference photo was used for this. We have like the middle finger pointing in a completely different direction than these fingers. And again, I'm not trying to throw stones from glass houses. I'm bad at hands too. Reference photos are great. I just drew something on the airplane. Hand looked real jacked. I was like, I'm just do a little one of these and take a little picture, and then make it look a little better. Still looking a little jacked, but less jacked. And this again is the other cover. And Myra says, there's literally nothing wrong with the fingers. And as a beta reader, you literally read my first draft. So forgive me if you found some errors. And then somebody says that the fingers get smashed in a hydraulic press. Hands don't do that. And Myra says, that's a drawing. Do you realize that? Do you realize that not all people draw the same way? That all people might not be as proficient as others out there? And that people were kind of just mocking the art. Again, I feel some type of way about the mockery of the art. I mean, people were just mocking the author in general because of this entire buffoonery. Because, they faked these hate messages and then it just kind of opened the door for more people. Again, look, I completely respect somebody trying to learn the craft, not resorting to AI, trying to learn art so that they can get the covers and stuff and character art for the books that they're putting out, saving some coin, doing some authentic art. I completely respect that hustle. I completely do. So it is some type of way about it. But I would personally just say, if this is what you're going to deliver in a commission, you might need to do a little bit of anatomy studies, before you sell this as a service. Nothing wrong with doing it for your own books, though. Going back into talking about, are these the same person, right? The Black Rose, aka Blue Sapphire, the web design, are they the same person as Myra Bloom? Do you read what she said here? because people are talking about how they're all the same person and Myra never mentioned it. If somebody accuses you of something that is blatantly false, you would deny it, right? Like, there's so many instances of innocent people in prison and they deny it to hell and high water. 30 years they'll deny it, right? Because they know they didn't do anything wrong. She completely never touched on that. Just completely ignored it, you know? I feel like most people, if somebody accused you of being two other people that you are not, you would be like, wait, here is a bunch of receipts to prove that I am not Black Rose and I am not Blue Sapphic Design. Nothing mentioned here. But also, look at how defensive she is about the hands. She's defensive as if she is the actual artist, right? Because if somebody dogs on you for your artwork, somebody's like, yeah, your fingers look on whack, you know, you're probably gonna be a little defensive. You're gonna be like, yo, what's wrong with the fingers? Like, I worked hard on this. I spent a lot of time on this. She has the level of defensiveness that only the artist would have. That's how I feel. Curious about your thoughts, but really, this is feeling like you are the same person for these reasons. And then on top of that, because those accounts were so gung-ho about supporting her, this person writes, now she's sharing in her other accounts for sympathy. And on her post, you know, this was the original post that was deleted, the hate post, the Blue Sapphire web design is like, I'm so sorry this is happening, Myra. Guys, please go and read her book about a plus-size baddie and an NHL goalie. It's amazing. Interesting. And this is what sells the connection even more, okay? Because OP continues talking about how that the hands look traced, which actually, like, I don't think they're traced because you can't possibly contort your hands in this position. Like, there's literally no way for you to do this position to then trace it. You would need something to trace, and there is nothing that looks like this in terms of how your hands could look. Myra says, one sentence, Erica. Give me one sentence regarding the writing. The strange writing. I've been writing since I was a child. Now, for you to discredit years and years of my hard work, that's too much. And for the art, I'd figure tracing would be much easier and correct. Not an artist, but neither are you. And then finally here, Myra denies being multiple people. But like, again, it was mentioned all the way up here and there's literally no denial about it for so long until it was mentioned a second time. And again, the worst part about all of this is all the people that get dragged into this because they were just trying to be nice, you know? Again, like that other author who commissioned some art because they were trying to be nice and support the cover artist just to find out it is basically Myra on a different account, just trying to solicit work for herself. But here we have another author Chelsea Curto, writing, good morning. I've always said yes to almost anyone who wants to do a giveaway with me on Instagram. I recognize the platform I have, and if I can use that platform to help other authors reach new accounts, I will. I don't, however, condone the behavior demonstrated by an author I previously engaged in a giveaway with. And then they add, upon investigation, the giveaway I did with them went to a reader in Australia, which seems legitimate. Because again, Myra is allegedly known to have been based in India, but Chelsea says that's not the case for everyone else. I'm disappointed that the authors and readers were taken advantage of by this individual, and I will not be engaging with them going forward in any capacity. And Myra says, because that giveaway had multiple authors, Chelsea. Yours did too. And everyone who was in yours got the same address for Australia you did. I did 3 giveaways, 2 paperbacks and 1 ebook. One was to Australia, the other to India, and the ebook was to somebody in the US. I've always respected you and idealized you. For 1 second, did you think that I may not be lying? I cannot force anyone to believe me, but I thought you deserved an explanation. Thank you for every time you've helped me. Sorry, this is so funny. Somebody put the meme, this is a perfect representation of you, and it's the person biking, putting a stick in their own bike, tripping and falling and holding their knee. Look, again, at the end of the day, right? Obviously, I guess you can't post receipts of like the addresses of where people live for the giveaways, but come on, man. Like, it's very, very apparent that you are Black Rose and you are also Blue Sapphire Design. Why did you win your own giveaway? Exactly. Because there are people who are saying that they partnered with you for a giveaway and Black Rose won. Black Rose is you. If your account accidentally won the giveaway, whoopsie-doo, pick somebody else. That's not clearing your name at all, actually. It's making you look like you wanted a book for free. Because how do you explain that away? And another person got dragged into this as well. So this is Luna Literary Management writing, Lemmy here, well, it's always Lemmy, but coming to make a statement about something that's bothered me, and more flags showed up along the way. It's pretty long and it reads, this morning I saw a thread that made me side-eye because an author posted, about the hate about the plus-size character. Lemmy writes, we handled arcs for this book, and looking at the reviews and reader feedback, the online story told didn't match. We reached out to the author and asked for all the accounts that were sending hate messages because we don't stand for bullying at Luna. The email has yet to be responded to. And now they're looking through the detective work and that everything looks fishy. And let me apologize this, writing, here's where I step in first off to apologize, because it appears this person is scamming us all, readers, authors, book businesses, and the community as a whole. Obviously, I'm just finding out about this, but it doesn't excuse any harm she's caused to people that I respect and admire. I am embarrassed for allowing somebody like this to come into our space, and I've confronted her on the red flags. I am at a loss of words, I'm sad, and if you're an author who partnered with her for a giveaway, I would love to reimburse you. If you're somebody she bullied or made uncomfortable, please know my DMs are open and I am forever sorry. Lemmy donated the money that they received for the ARC campaign to their local Planned Parenthood. And they add, also as a plus size woman myself, I am mad. Our readers love plus size representation, which is why I was confused about all the hate comments, because readers were literally leaving notes in a review form like, love seeing a plus size female main character. So please know plus size bodies are deserving of love. They deserve to have a happily ever after and character representation and to be their hot AF selves. And the person who made the original call out, like that little like side by side, they clarified, Lemmy runs a PR company. In no way I mean to imply this was sanctioned by her company by calling it a PR stunt. This is all the author and all the alters all by herself. And this is also super sweet. Luna Literary is doing a big giveaway. They ordered 20 books that Myra had partnered with, and they have a big list, and they're going to be doing a giveaway. And they add, and no, they will not go to an internal member of Luna. Wow, there's a lot of books on here. And man, I am so sorry to everybody that was affected because of this scammer who is like still doubling and tripling down for some reason. Take a look at the authors here. If any of these sound interesting, please go check them out and give them some love and support for what they went through, because man, scammers be scamming. And what's honestly, again, wild is like the amount of doubling down that's happening. But, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. What are your thoughts? I personally believe, right, that that's them on all the accounts. They were trying to pull a sticker gate. Do you guys know sticker gate? Oh my God, I will link that video if I remember. I just literally got off a flight like an hour ago, so I might be a little loopy. But sticker gate was a whole fiasco where literally a sticker artist did the same thing, where they were trying to do a pity marketing PR stunt, and then they made a fake account and sent a bunch of hate messages to themselves, like really, really, really awful, vile hate messages. Everybody rallied up support, bought a ton of stuff from their sticker business, and then it was exposed that she sent every single message. Because the messages basically got crazier and crazier. She sent herself like a series of 7 and then made it a whole fiasco. And people then look back on her account and then realize that this is actually something she does periodically. Like every month, somebody is sending her a disgusting hate email. And it's like, dude, haters do exist and they really suck. And they say some vile things on the internet, but they're not like, I don't know, targeting you every single month with a different account that also seems to have the exact same email handle, like hater, something, number. Like they all look the same. She got completely canceled off Threads, basically. It was like big Threads drama. Made a whole multiple set of videos about that one. So that's a wild one. Go check it out and go support all of these authors. So yeah, if you like this video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. I've seen a lot of comments recently in my videos where people are like, Kat, how come you dye your hair so often? How does your hair change colors? I have the secret, okay? The secret is my hair is so bleach damaged that it is 1, blonde beneath the roots, and 2, because it's so bleach damaged, it does not hold color like at all anymore. I don't know if any of you guys have reached the level where your hair is so damaged it doesn't hold color, but mine is there. Every hair wash, I lose 25% of my hair color. Like it's crazy. So I keep dyeing it, and I had a crash out moment where I missed 2 flights a week ago, crashed out, came home, dyed my hair black. But then literally the next shower, it turned blue because the base color of the black dye is blue. Anyways, my hair is so damaged, it doesn't hold color anymore. So every wash, it changes colors basically. So that's probably why my hair color looks so different video to video. And then I also do dye it really frequently. I use semi-permanent dye, so it's not like it's damaging my hair that badly. But yeah, that's with my hair color is always different. I appreciate y'all for noticing and all the nice comments on my hair. I appreciate it. I might try to stick to black for a minute because my roots are growing out so disgustingly bad that it's like driving me crazy. If you have any tips to like grow natural dark roots out, let me know. But yeah, TLDR, hair super damaged from bleach and dye. I use semi-permanent dye to keep the color in, and I appreciate all the nice comments on my hair. So anyways, if you like this video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on Etsy. I have digital art there for streamers and creators. I also have a coffee with free resources like a free sponsorship guide, and I stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST, Thursdays at 7:30. Hope to catch y'all there or in another video. Peace.